joined the call today.
Hare Krishna, this is Vinod Maheshwari.
Hare Krishna, Vinod Mai Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much for joining.
Hare Krishna Mataji and Hare Krishna to all devotees. This is Malini from Ashburn, Virginia. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Marini Mataji. Thank you so much for joining. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. This is Nikunj Rasadas from German from EverydayChant.
Hare Krishna, Nikunjadas Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Jai Srila Prabhupada, Jai Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much for joining.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Mandavan Pranam to you and all the devotees on the call. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Rupini Padma Devi Dasi from Orlando, Florida.
Hare Krishna, Rupini Padma Mataji. Thank you so much for joining. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. I see that Prabhuji has joined.
Yeah. Ajnanatimirandasya. I'm sorry for 1 minute late. Can I start, Mataji?
Just few minutes, Prabhu. I'm just going to make sure that the recording has started.
Yes, Mataji.
Hare
Yes,
Krishna.
Mataji, it is started recording. Yeah.
Hare Krishna devotees, thank you so much for joining Everyday Chant Japa conference call. Today we are very fortunate to have His Grace Yugal Kishore Prabhuji joining us from Detroit. Prabhuji is going to enlighten us on Srimad Bhagvatam, Canto 8, Chapter 8, Verse 10. Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. Whenever you are ready, you may take over the call.
Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuronmritam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Shiva Padantikam Bandeham Sri Guru Sri Tapadakamlam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Ravanadanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parajana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shivsha Kanatam E Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpati Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Taptaganjana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Shravano Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Panchakaltra Supasanabhyacha Paditanam Pavanebhya Vaishnebhya Namanava Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrasade Gaur Bhaktaranda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangam Langaya Degram Yatkripa Tamho Vande Sri Guru Nataran Paramananda Madhav Sri Chaitanya Shram Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Vatara Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namaste Srisdeve Gauravani Prachar Nirviseshunyadi Paschati Dista. Excuse me, Hare Krishna. So today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 8, text number 10. Tasyasanamaninye Mahindra Mahadadvatam Murtimatya Saricheshtra Saricheshtra Hemakumbair Jalam Suchi Murtimatya Saricheshtra Hemakumbair Jalam Suchi. The king of heaven, Indra, brought a suitable sitting place for the goddess of fortune. All the rivers of sacred water, such as Ganges and Yamuna, personified themselves, and each of them brought pure water in golden water pots for Mother Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune. There is no purport, so we'll read the next verse. Avisheka nika bhumir aharat sakalaushadi gavah pancha pavitrani vasanto madhumadhavo. The land became a person and collected all the drugs and herbs needed for installing the deity. The cows delivered 5 products, namely milk, yogurt, ghee, urine, and cow dung. And the spring personified collected everything produced in spring during the months of Chaitra and Vaishakha, April and May. Purport: Panchagavya, the 5 products received from the cow, namely milk, yogurt, ghee, cow dung, and cow urine, are required in all ritualistic ceremonies performed according to the Vedic directions. The cow urine, the cow dung are uncontaminated, and since even the urine and dung of cow are important, we can just imagine how important this animal is for human civilization. Therefore, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna directly advocates Goraksha, the protection of cows. Civilized men who follow the system of Varnashrama, especially those of the Vaishya class who engage in agriculture and trade, must give protection to cows. Unfortunately, because people in Kali Yuga are Manda and all bad, and Sumandamataya, misled by false conceptions of life. They are killing cows in thousands. Therefore, they're unfortunate in spiritual consciousness, and nature disturbs them in so many ways, especially through incurable diseases like cancer and through frequent wars among nations. As long as society continues to allow cows to be regularly killed in slaughterhouses, there cannot be any question of peace or prosperity. Hare Krishna. So, most of the people, they do not know the goal of life. When you do not know the goal of life, people think the goal of life is sense enjoyment. Because what is the nature of the soul? To be happy. Anandamaya abhyasat. The soul, nature of soul, I mean the Sachidananda Swarupa is the Swarupa soul has. In that one aspect is Ananda. So, but because of the false ego, the soul identifies with the body and tries to enjoy through the senses. Throughout the life, the soul tries to find sense objects, either collectively or individually. Collectively means through family members, or individually, and we try to continuously enjoy and try to provide, prestige, respect, all these things to satisfy the ego of the satisfy the ego actually. Goal of life is a self-realization that we understand when we read Bhagavatam. Even if some people don't know this, still, for various reasons, Maya checks them out, and they have a number of reasons why they should give other things the priority. Other things is the priority, but not spirituality. So coming back to subject matter, that's why Srimad Bhagavatam Puranam Amalam Prema Murtamaha is also Pramanam. Srimad Bhagavatam, the goal of Srimad Bhagavatam is the love of God. That's why this is the religion of Lord Chaitanya. What is that? Reading Srimad Bhagavatam and applying the instructions given in Srimad Bhagavatam. So, today's verse, it's a Samudra Manthan. Very interesting topic actually. Samudra Manthan, Devatas started churning when last week we were seeing when nothing happened. They were churning, it's not working. Then finally, the Vishnu himself started churning. The milk ocean. Then what happened? He said, as he warned the demons and devatas, so many things start coming. Based on their desires, they accepted those sense objects. And finally Lakshmi ji came. Lakshmi ji emanated from Kshir Sagar. So then everyone, she was so beautiful. Where does the beauty come from? When we have a genuine love for Krishna or Vishnu, same person, to the extent we have love for Krishna, what is one of the opulence of Krishna? Beauty. Let us see. What are the six opulences Krishna or Vishnu Tattva has? Who can answer? What are the six opulences?
Beauty, strength, renunciation, knowledge, fame,
and wealth.
Perfect. So one of the qualities is beauty. So when we develop love, to the extent we have love for Krishna, that much extent we become beautiful. I heard. Krishna gives that. Excuse me. Krishna gives that quality. Lakshmi ji has so much love for Narayan. Naturally, she's beautiful. Then what happens is, it's beauty is also the cause of infatuation. So everyone wanted to, she is the energy, Shakti. In Bhagavad Gita, first chapter, Srila Prabhupada writes, energy and energetic, they are not different. But energetic is considered supreme because energetic possesses energy. So Krishna, what is it? Parasha Sakta Srita Swabhavik Jnana Balakriya Cha. So what is God? God means he has unlimited energies. He has unlimited energies. So Swabhavik Jnana Balakriya Cha. So what is that unlimited energies? In one sense, they are non-different. Energy and energetic. That is the difference between Arjuna and Krishna. You have a bank account, but you are not bank account, You have a car, you are not the car. But Krishna has a very inconceivable relationship with his energies. In 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, all beings are in me, but I am not in them. But still they emanate from me. Krishna speaks double language in the 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So that is how Krishna is different from us. You are different from your bank account. So anyway, all the devatas, what happened? Now we are his part and parcels. Antarang, what is it? Tatastha Shakti. So, in a very liberated state, our natural condition is to serve. So, and she is the mother. Chaitanya Charitamrita, it's explained. Radharani, she is the, what is that? Lakshmi ji is, I don't exactly remember, but Vaibhav Vilas expansion. Queens of Dwarka are Vaibhav Prakash. And the gopis of Vrindavan are mirror images of Radharani. Lakshmi ji is the Vaibhav Vilas expansion, Queens are Vaibhav Prakash expansion of Radharani. And for the Vrindavan gopis, they are her mirror images. You're listening, right? So,
Yes, Prabhuji.
so naturally, those people have an genuine devotion to Krishna, energetic, as those people have a natural, genuine inclination to inclination of same devotional service towards the energetic Radharani or Radharani's expansion, Lakshmi Devi, Lakshmi Rama. She's called Rama. So, but she is possessed by Krishna. She is Rama, Atma Rama. Atma Ramascha Manayo Nirgrandapi Virukrame Kurvanta Etikim Bhaktim Yatnam Bhuta Gano Hari. Supreme Lord is Atma Rama, self-satisfied. Why? That internal pleasure, Rama, is within him. For us to be happy, we need sense object. To the extent we long for sense objects, that is a sign we are not advanced. You're all listening, right? So, this is a yardstick to measure our spiritual progress. To the extent we have inclination to enjoy sense objects, that much extent we should understand we are not advanced. In that sense objects also, food is the very lowest. In that also, what is it? Meat, fish, eggs, tamaguna. So enjoyment is also tamagun, rajagun, sattvagun. But spiritual enjoyment is there too. That is a transcendental. Somebody comes and gives you, excuse me, 1 minute. Somebody comes and gives us foodstuffs and we are longing to eat it. What happens? The tongue wiggles and that's it. That is our happiness. Tongue comes in contact with the object. These mental pleasures, sensual pleasures, mental pleasures, intellectual pleasures, pleasures on the level of ego, four levels of pleasures we experience. But above this, all this is a spiritual pleasure. Above all this is a spiritual pleasure. You're all in the call. This is a standing testimony that somewhere you enjoyed in Hare Krishna temple, because we are very strict people. You have to get up in the morning, chant 16 hours, follow 4 principles. No onion, no garlic, Hare Krishna. Your continuing itself is a reason that you have got Krishna's mercy. It means somewhere soul enjoyed. But when the mind enjoys, where intellect and buddhi, intelligence enjoys, or senses enjoy. You are not that because you are a spirit soul. In fact, you are left dissatisfied actually. This is what I was telling last week also. I just mentioned. So what is that? ऊर्ध्वं गच्छन् सत्त्वतः मध्ये तिष्ठन्ति राजस जगन्निगुणवृत्तिष्ठधो गच्छन् तामस. So if we go for tamagun enjoyment, next lifetime will become animals or trees. If we go for rajagun enjoyment, then we become we take human birth again. But there also human species, human birth also it has gradations, You'll take birth in rich family, not so rich family, poor family, all we have no idea. So what is that? But your pursuing means somewhere your soul enjoyed. In fact, when mind enjoys a lot, the mind will become dull. It will bring mental problems. One time I mentioned it. But soul enjoys, yes. Prasad eat, that is soul is enjoying, perfect. Of course, when soul enjoys, mind is enjoying, tongue is enjoying, perfect. Kirtan, mind is enjoying, but soul is also enjoying, perfect. Then uh, then usually your intelligence is convinced, hey, this is very good for me. That life is auspicious. In other words, your life is auspicious. What you have to do, you should not give it up. Because there are only 10 people in the call. Means many people are in avidya, ignorance. But Supreme Lord is different. Atma ramascha munayo nirgrandapi urukrame kruvanta hetikim bhaktim yattam bhuta ganu hari. Atma Rama, self-satisfied. Supreme Lord is self-satisfied. Why is self-satisfied? The internal pleasure, Rama is inside. She has occupied his bosom, his chest. So that, Ahladini Shakti, Antaranga Shakti is inside. That's why, even if you have so many desires, worship Krishna, you have desire for liberation, you worship Krishna, or you have no desire for anything, no desires, so many desires. Or desire for liberation, worship Krishna. You're listening, right? So, the point is, actually, no, the Supreme, this Durga Devi is actually maid servant of Rama. Brahma Samhita says. Then Vishnu glances, Vishnu doesn't come in contact with Maya directly. That glance is Shambhu, Shiva. So Shiva, all the living entities in the material world are injected into the womb of Durga, Prakriti, through the agency of that glance. That glance is Lord Shiva. And, and that agency is Lord Shiva. She is the maid servant of Rama. Ramante yoganananta satyananda atmani idirapadena so param brahma vidiyate. Supreme Lord is called Rama because he is Supreme Brahman. All the yogis, they want to, they take his shelter because he is the Lord of transcendental pleasure. Rama means a reservoir of pleasure. Why reservoir of pleasure? That pleasure is given by Rama. That's why we cannot actually know. Sometimes people ask, Radha and Krishna, when you try to understand Radha and Krishna, you're doing the biggest mistake to yourself. Why? Radha Krishna Ekatma Duhi Dehadari Anyonya Vilasa Rasa Aswadana Kori. Hey, first of all, in this world, there is no example like that. One time I mentioned, mother gives birth to twins. but two different souls. But Radha Krishna, not two different souls, one soul only, Ekatma. But for the sake of enjoyment, pleasure, they became two. So if you try to apply that in the similar thing in the metal world, there is no example like that metal world. It will cause us to fall down actually. But if you understand it is something very sacred, so the Goswami is appreciating, by birth Brahman realized personality. And all the acharyas are appreciating, forget about all acharyas. Radha Radheti Kuryarthi, Radha Radheti Jalpati, Radha Radheti Anishta, Radha Radheti Pujiyet, Vrindaranya Mahapaga, Radha Sachari Bhavet. Who is telling this verse? Shiva is telling. Shiva is worshipping Radharani and Brahma is worshipping Radharani. What to speak of anybody else in this world? So then the Prabhupada says, what is that? A couple of points before you conclude. They performed Abhishek to her. Indra brought suitable sitting place. Then, and all the pure water was brought. And then land personified, Bhudevi brought drugs and herbs. So all these Aushadis and Muli, Aushadis they were all brought in. And they were brought in to perform the fire sacrifice, to perform Abhishek actually. So as a 10 power minus for tip of the hair, that is our natural inclination to worship Krishna and his internal energy. Mother. So they were all, up to next 23rd verse. So the worship continuous. Abhishek was performed. So the one point, though it's a little far, one point I want to tell is she saw everyone. Everyone was, this is so beautiful, right? I want to marry. But somebody, everyone is filled with defects. She didn't find anybody, qualified. Finally, she went to Mukunda. And Narayan was not interested, he said renounced. But that is her eternal position, so she placed her garland around his neck. And she chose him as her Supreme Lord. So what is the moral? Moral is we all have faults. Rather than feasting on the faults, we should ignore the faults and look for the good qualities. I'm talking to myself. Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami, when they confided with Lord Chaitanya, and Ramkeli, when Lord Chaitanya came to Ramkeli, they are telling Jagai Mada is better than me, Hare Krishna. Spiritual life means humility, not the performance. It's needed, no doubt performance is also part of spirituality. But very important thing is humility. Rupa and Sanatan, they are telling, my Lord, Rupa and this Jagai and Madai, they have not worked for anybody. We are working for this very cruel man, Nawab Hussain Shah. Jagai and Madai, they were they were residents of Navadip. How fortunate they are, my Lord. And on the top of it, they became the recipients of your mercy. So what is the moral? Moralization they are telling you. So devotees look for one good quality and glorify that, ignoring all the bad qualities. What is that? I heard in one lecture, honeybee, lotus grows in a mud. And it's filth. And Hare Krishna. So lotus grows in mud, and it's it's filled in everywhere. Around it is filth. But honeybee ignores all the impurity around the lotus, and it has a tiny pollen, that honey in that lotus. Honeybee picks it up. We should be like that fortunate honeybee. But imagine, like a rose garden in New Vrindavan, West Virginia. There are so many roses. Honeybees will be feasting on the pollen, the honey of the roses. One fly comes. And it ignores all these roses and the honey in that. And end of the rose garden, some dog might have passed stool. It will go and land on that stool and feasts on the stool. Ladies and gentlemen, life is a choice. We want to be like honeybee or we want to be like a fly. So we say, I want to be like honeybee, then we need to behave like honeybee all the time. Yeah, honeybee represent devotees. So the point I'm trying to make is we need to be fortunate like a honeybee and try to look good qualities in others, and go forward in our life and increase the purity rather than criticizing others, finding fault with others. When we find fault with others, the same faults will occupy our heart also. um, um, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is telling, Vaigunya Ketakalitam Paisunya Vranapiritam Dainyarnave Nimaknoham Sri Chaitanya Vaidyamasre. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is telling, my body is filled with germs of metal activity. For that reason, my body is filled with boils of envy. I am drowned in the ocean of sorrow and depression. That's why I have taken shelter of Sri Chaitanya Vaidyamasre. I have taken shelter of the Supreme Doctor Lord Chaitanya. Can you believe Krishnadas? And what he says as he goes to the final page of Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Krishnadas Gauraj Goswami, humility is like matchless. I am a worm in the stool, Hare Krishna. Nobody should see my face. If you see my face, all the sins in the world, you will get it and you'll become sinful. Wow. Sometimes, we may speak like that, especially when we come across the lines like this. So the point is, why? Why is he so humble? He doesn't want to become famous. Then he makes a statement. But the book Chaitanya Charitamrita you read, sir, ma'am, you will attain the perfection of life. Please do that. So whatever name he is going to get out of it, as an author of Chaitanya Charitamrita, he is trying to distance himself from that. But he is imploring his readers to please read and attain the perfection of life. Amazing. 3 people he went and asked while writing Chaitanya Charitamrita. They said, he went and asked for blessings. They said, I will give you blessings. But in our own way. Means what? Please don't mention anything about us in the book. Amazing, right? So over that, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, Gopal Bhatta Goswami, and Lokanath Goswami. Later Gangadev, so what is that? Later, So, what I'm telling? So, what is that? They don't want name and fame. Hare Krishna. So, sadhana is important. Sadachar is equally important. I'm talking to myself. To the extent we become humble, Krishna will facilitate our progress. You know, it's very important. Sadachar means what? Good behavior. In the morning we chant our rounds, in the evening we give left and right to everyone. Criticize, I'm a Siksha Guru, I find fault with you. You know, okay, Siksha Guru, you were moral, moral responsible to find fault. If you're not careful, it will become your second nature. And you'll fall down. The Siksha disciple will make progress. One day Sita told this story to Ram. My lord, I'm watching you. All the sages of Dandakaranya, they're coming and asking you to protect them, and you agreed also. And now you agreed, and you want to kill the demons. Demons don't have any enmity with you. You know, this will cause your, this is not good. And then Sita told a story to Ram. One sage was actually doing tapasya. Indra, what he did not send Rambha or Manaka like he used to do for others. He went and put a knife there. You know, he put a 1 minute. So he put a knife there, sword. This sage, once in a while, will come and see the sword. Oh, then he started using it to cut the sticks that are used for, havan. Then he extended slowly the usage of the sword. And eventually he became a hunter actually. If you have a loaded gun and put it on the table, how many of you agree, children will come and at least shoot one time. You agree? So likewise, if we as a Siksha Guru, or anybody, as a parents, if we keep on finding faults, then what happens? It becomes second nature and will fall down actually. Then what is the question? Siksha Guru should not find fault. Simple answer is Siksha Guru, before finding fault, this is my thankless task, my Lord. I have to find this fault so that if I correct that person, he'll make progress. He or she will make progress. But please protect me from Maya. And for the purification, we should come and hear the Bhagavatam class every day. Develop that sadachar every day. Good sadhana every day. Like Chataka board waiting for that mercy, we should all do our sadhana and satsang and look for that grace to come. Then definitely we get the grace eventually from Rama. Eventually from Lakshminarayan or Radha and Krishna. That's what I can tell today. Any question or comment?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Mandana Pranam to you, Shri Prabhupada.
Amada Dandata.
Class. So Prabhuji, I have a question about, like there's no difference between Krishna and Vishnu, right?
You're breaking in between, I missed. Please
Shri-
repeat again.
Yeah, there's no, can you hear me now?
Again.
Mataji, your voice is breaking in between.
Oh, so let me see, I'll come back.
Sure.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna devotees, anybody else have a question?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you so much for such a wonderful class. I really like the story you shared about the bee and the fly. That was actually very, I could actually see what our mind does. So thank you so much, Prabhu. Hari Bol, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam. Thank you so much for the wonderful class today. They are telling us about how um, Mother Rama came out of the ocean and also, to become humble. Thank you so much. Prabhuji, my question is, everybody wants in this material world, they're looking for Lakshmi. But in Gaudiya Vaishnavism, we we don't directly, we're not so focused on Mother Lakshmi, but Radha and Krishna. Also in Vrindavan, we see that Lakshmi Devi is not able to even enter. She's taking a penance to enter into Ras dance, but because of her Aishwarya Bhav, she's not coming in. So in what mood should we pray to Mother Lakshmi? Or should we just focus on Lord Gauranga and Radha Krishna?
You said, should we focus on last line? I had a small problem.
Yeah.
Radha and Krishna, you said, can you repeat again?
Yes, Prabhuji. So, in Vrindavan, like we have all the deities are Radha Krishna deities, and Mother Lakshmi is outside. So, should we pray to Mother Lakshmi and Narayan, or should we focus mostly on Radha and Krishna only?
We are Gaudiya Vaishnavas. Obviously, Radha and Krishna. So, but of course, Prabhupada said deity worship. Radha Krishna worship is very high standard. So that's why Prabhupada said deity worship, we should take care of them. We should worship deities in honor and reverence, treat them as Lakshmi Narayan. But our worship is Radha and Krishna, obviously. That's why, what is that? One time in one session I said, worship Lord Chaitanya, and Lord Chaitanya by Lord Chaitanya's grace, we'll get entrance into Radha and Krishna worship. But we are Gaudiya Vaishnavas. Obviously, we worship Radha and Krishna. Mother Radharani is the mother of the universe, gods of devotion. So, Vrindavan means Mathurya. Vaikuntha means Aishwarya. That's why, if you see Tilak, our Tilak is Tilak that we put is actually that is Krishna's lotus feet. Then below that is Tulsi, Vrindavan. Vraja Bhakti. But Sri for other people, they have a red line. Sri Sampradaya. That is Lakshmi. Vaikuntha Bhav. So yes, we worship Radha and Krishna, obviously. Of course, through Lord Chaitanya. To get mercy of Lord Chaitanya, we need to worship Nityananda Prabhu. To get mercy from Nityananda Prabhu, we need to worship Guru Maharaj, spiritual master. Srila Prabhupada is the foundational Siksha for Guru for all of us. And then what the Guru is a Vartamano, there are so many Gurus in ISKCON. So our Guru, if you worship our Guru, then our Guru will take us to Prabhupada. And by pleasing them, we get the mercy of Gaurnita, and they will give us entrance into Radha and Krishna Leela. Okay?
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Again, we need Lakshmi for different service. So just praying to Guru and Radha Krishna is enough, right? We don't have to pray to Lakshmi Devi to give us Lakshmi for different services and
Radharani is Adi Lakshmi. So the way Krishna is Adi Narayan, it's given first canto. Radharani is Adi Lakshmi. All the Lakshmis come from Radharani. Lakshmi, like, what is it? Ananda Chinmersa, Pratibhavita, Taviri, Eva, Nijarupataya Kalabi, Goloki, Eva Nusita Klatmupta, Govindamadi Pushuntam Bujami. So, Lakshmi Sahasra Satsambram Sevyamanam, Govindamadi Pushuntam. So, this all the gopis are all Lakshmis only. So Radharani is source of all the Lakshmi is Lakshmi Tattva. The Krishna is source of Vishnu Tattva. So if you worship Radharani, you are worshipping Lakshmi also. Okay?
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. My obeisances. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Can you hear me, Prabhuji?
Yes.
So every, like we say that, yeah, I came to different place. So you said that like there's no difference Krishna and Vishnu. So so basically everything is emanating from Krishna. In today's class, there was one doubt I had. So we should think that everything is emanating from Radha, whether it is Lakshmi ji, Tulsi Maharani, Sita Devi. Is that a right understanding?
Of course.
Okay.
What is that? I'm trying to find the verse actually, So Adi, you're right. That is the answer. Any other question? Yes, that is the right thing.
Okay, because I always thought that there are different ways that like Radharani she came into the river, and she just appeared, and then Lakshmi came. What is the appearance of Lakshmi? Their appearances are all different, but everything is emanating from Radha and Krishna only. That's how it is.
Yeah, this energies, Radharani or Lakshmi ji, Radharani is source of course, Lakshmi Tattva, as I mentioned. But they, they directly appear actually, they don't, Krishna always appears through, like Yashoda, Yashoda, or Yashoda's womb, or what is that, Devaki's womb.
Yeah.
But Radharani, they all, they directly come actually,
Also, Prabhuji,
Okay, 1 minute. So this is
yeah.
the verse. Krishna Kanta Gana Deki Trivida Prakara Eka Lakshmi Gana Pure Mahishi Gana Ara Prajangana Rupara Kanta Gana Sara Sri Radhika Haite Kanta Ganera Vistara. So the meaning is the beloved consorts of Lord Krishna are of three kinds: the gods of fortune, the queens and of Dwaraka, and the milkmaids of Raja. Who are foremost of all. These concert all proceed and from Radhika. Hare Krishna.
Very bold, very nice. So,
So,
like we also hear one more thing I want to ask you is that we read in the Bhagavatam some weeks back that in Narayan's Kastuba jewel is there, although it's a resting place for Lakshmi Devi, but Lakshmi Devi want to reside at the feet of Krishna. So why did Lord Narayan? How is this Kastuba jewel why he was asking her to reside on the chest? Is there some reference to this? I was just thinking why it is like that.
no, Kaustuba jewel is different. Kaustuba jewel is there also. But Radharani is also there on the chest of Narayan. She wants to be, she's eternal, she's his consort. So she has occupied that, she has given that position to her. She is energy, So,
Okay.
but that Radharani, that Lakshmi ji, when she saw Krishna performing rasa dance very intimately with gopis, she said, "Hey, Narayan doesn't do that with me." So what she did, she went to Krishna, said, "I also want to be part of Rasa Lila." But Krishna said, "No, then you have to follow footsteps of gopis. You should you should know how to make cowdung cookie and cakes and cowdung patties." So she said, "No, I cannot." Then she's still in Bhelavan, she's still doing tapasya. So gopis, what they did, they gave entrance to see rasa dance. But she is not allowed by Krishna to take part in rasa dance. Okay.
Okay.
Mm.
Thank you so
But
much. Yeah.
I mean, she is, of course, what is that? I mean, Dwarka, Rukmini is actually Lakshmi ji only, no? Goddess of fortune. But Vrindavan mood is little different, you know. I know that's what I can tell. Vrindavan mood is highest actually, no, not different, in its highest.
And also, like we say, no, in Diwali and other festivals, we don't worship Lakshmi ji. We worship Narayan Lakshmi together. It's like together that we worship, you know.
Yeah, so when Krishna becomes Lakshmi, Radharani, so when Krishna becomes Narayan, Radharani becomes Lakshmi. So that is an Aishwarya Bhav.
Okay. Yes, yes.
That's the point.
I just had this question in mind because of your class. Thank you so much for the wonderful class that this topic came up. So basically, it will be right if we sometimes we want to worship, we can worship Radharani as all the time. Other than just like Prabhuji asked that, do we worship Lakshmi ji or Sita Devi or Tulsi Maharani? So we can remember more Radha ji, Radharani. Is that okay? That kind of
Yeah,
along with Krishna.
when
Yeah.
Krishna becomes, as I said, I'm repeating again, when Krishna is source of Vishnu Tattva, when Krishna becomes Narayan, Radharani becomes Lakshmi, when Krishna becomes Ram, Radharani becomes Sita. You know, so all the Shakti Tattva source is Radharani, Vishnu Tattva source is Krishna. So that's it, perfect. You know, when we worship them, everyone is worshipped. When you worship Krishna, all the Vishnu Tattva is covered. Likewise, when worship Radharani, all the Shakti Tattva is covered. From Amsa Lakshmi Durgadikacha. Vedanta Shamantika, there is a book where Balavidya Vishan mentions Lakshmi ji comes from Radharani, Durga ji also comes from Radharani. You know, like Lakshmi ji means mother giving a chocolate and mother giving a sweet rasgulla. Durga ji means mother giving a slap. That's it. Both they come from Radharani only.
Very nice. Thank you so much. And Prabhuji, that thing you mentioned with Mataji was saying about the example of the honey and that you mentioned one line saying that what happens is that when you are constantly finding fault, then, like they also say that you mentioned that when you find faults, then, like the other person's fault comes in us. Uh, or something like that. I mean, or your nature becomes, second nature becomes faulty. But that I understand. Nature becomes faulty because you're all the time finding fault. But how is it that the other person gets good karma and our karma go down? Like, if I'm finding fault in someone, then why is the other person whose fault I'm finding? How is he? He or she is there only. It is my bad karma only, right? I mean, this, like I heard from one Mataji that उसका कर्म अच्छा हो जाता है, हमारा बुरा हो जाता है. तो उनका अच्छा कैसे होता है? It should be bad for us only all the way.
No, this is the thing.
हाँ. There's confusion of, yeah.
We cannot, I mean, for example, if mother finds fault with the daughter, no, not the daughter will not get good karma and mother will get bad karma, not like that. Or a Shiksha Guru finds fault uh, with the Shiksha disciple will get good karma and Shiksha Guru will get the bad karma. Definitely not like that. The answer is this. You know, for example, somebody is doing wrong and we see that and you have a responsibility to correct. Like, mother has a responsibility to correct the child, father has a responsibility to correct the son, mother, of course, daughter. So likewise, guru has the responsibility to correct the disciple. But if a guru keeps on finding faults to correct them, to make them better, without knowledge, guru eventually will become a fault, will continue to find faults because, but then what happens, that will become his second nature and he'll fall down. So good karma will not come will not come to the person whom you are correcting. But of course you are correcting, so if that person listens, definitely he'll become better. That is good for him, no doubt, I agree.
Hmm.
But this person, if he's not careful, then his nature, then he'll fall down. That way it's bad karma only. But strict sense, how do we save ourselves from this type of thing? So one lecture I heard, you have a thankless task of correcting the sexual disciple because he's doing wrong. You don't want him to slide down, and go down in path of bhakti. So what to do, my lord? I don't want to.
Sorry, yeah.
I don't want to correct him. I am myself filled with so many faults.
Mhm.
How can I correct somebody? But unfortunately, I have this position. So I have to correct him for his betterment. I am not feasting on his faults.
Hmm.
I am doing this thankless task of correcting so that he can perform bhakti better from tomorrow. So with that, you feel very bad to correct somebody because I myself have so many faults. How can I correct somebody? So, but I am doing this as a service. If you do it, nothing will happen to you. You understanding?
Yeah. Thank you so much. Yes, for the other betterment, then it's like a different story altogether.
Yes.
Okay.
So, but
Thank
that's
you
the
so much.
important.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for the answers and patiently answering all the questions in the wonderful class. So,
Any other question or comment? Otherwise, we'll end it.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Pranam, all Guru Shishya Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj. We have a question like when we see the Lord, like deities, there are like different forms. Like Lord is present in Brahman form and then Paramatma form and Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself. So one question is like when we see the form, the Lord is present in the form of deity, and also the other question is like some people
No, wait.
like not in this con like
Roji,
some
there is
other
a
sects.
break. Lord is present, you said. Okay, let me repeat. There's actually, your voice is breaking. You said Lord is present, Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan. I understood, Prabhuji.
yeah.
Then the question. What is the question? That's where it break.
The question is the first question is like in what form the Lord is present in the deity form. Okay, because what happens is some people they think that okay there is a Lord inside me, so everybody is Lord then. Like you are also God, I am also God, and if I'm seeing a deity also, that is also God.
So that is one question. Okay. Still you broke, but I understood. Prabhuji, the answer is simple. Which same question Prabhupada asked one day when Prabhupada disciple was giving class, Prabhupada was there. And Prabhupada, after the lecture was over, Prabhupada asked, which portion of the deity Krishna is present? So Prabhupada is asking the question. Prabhuji, Krishna is not present in the deity. Krishna is deity. You're understanding? Manoj Prabhu,
Yes, yes.
your voice is
Krishna is
breaking
deity.
actually.
Yes.
Krishna is deity. Krishna
Soul.
is not present in the deity
Yes.
like us. Soul is present in the
Mhm.
body, not like that. Krishna is deity. The day Krishna is invited, without our knowledge, first what they do, what is Prabhu? That marble. Marble means what they do? Mahatattva, Panchabhutas. Panchabhutas come from Mahatattva. So they recite mantras and they merge this marble deity, they merge into Mahatattva, and in the same place Krishna is invited. So Krishna will come. From that point, it is not marble, it is Krishna. You understanding? Are you listening?
So is it something like the deities, like when जब एक body में the soul comes out, it's a dead body. Sorry, bad throat. So similarly, when the deities in the marble form, the pujari, they invoke it, so then the soul comes inside and then it becomes Krishna. How does it become Krishna from marble?
That's what I said, Mataji.
By invoking.
No, by the mantras, what they do is they perform like 4 or 5 days, in Pratishtapana ceremony, installation ceremony. Then first what they do is they merge the marble into the Panchabuddhas. Panchabuddhas will merge into Mahatattva. Means there is no marble now, it's gone. Then they'll invite Krishna in that into that place. Then Krishna will manifest into that marble. So it is Krishna, no longer it's marble. But for our sake, it's a science, big science. Then Krishna is visible. When you think it is Krishna, it is Krishna. Others think it's marble, it's marble. But it's not marble, it is Krishna. Understanding?
Yes.
Yes, Prabhuji. Sorry, I had a bad connection. Yes.
No, but you made a point. Prabhuji, you made one point in the beginning. Krishna is present in Brahman. No. Brahman is Krishna's bodily effulgence, Prabhu. Yasya prabha pravato jagadanda koti. Koti swaseshwastad vibhuti minnam. Tad Brahman ishkalam anantam aseshpatam govindamata prashantaham bhajami. So Brahman is emanating from Krishna.
Yes.
It's given in Bhagavad Gita. Brahmano hi
Yes.
pratishtha.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Like, Brahman is emanating from Krishna only.
So,
That is effulgent.
Yes, Prabhuji. But Krishna is not present in the deity. Krishna is deity. That you should understand.
Yes.
So if you sincerely serve to the extent you have the service attitude, that much extent Krishna will reveal himself to us. If you want, I'll tell a small thing, Prabhuji. In America, there's something called mint. Mint, they put all the boxes. One day you go and in the big field. One day you take a hammer and smash. You break the keys and open it. There you see dollars. So there is just white papers cut in the form of dollar. But of course, there is just white paper only. Nobody cares. They are snowing, snow is falling on that. Rain is falling on that. But suddenly Monday comes, they'll put all this, they'll bring the boxes one after another, they'll go through the printing machine, then it is printed. Suddenly there will be 20 police. Arey, what happened? पहले भी पेपर ही था, अभी भी पेपर ही है. क्या हो गया फर्क? क्या फर्क है? Hey, now it is authorized paper. It is $100 bill. It is not paper. Right now, for example, you go to restaurant. There is no plate. Everything is paper only. Will you take your $100 bills and put idli in this? That's also paper. This is all paper. No. This is authorized paper. It is authorized by government. Likewise, the date is authorized by Krishna. It is not paper. It is $100 bill. You're understanding or not?
Yes.
So it's no longer a paper. It is a $100 bill. It is worth. Sometimes people come and they buy in India. So what is that? Some beautiful statues and they put it. That is statue. That is not deity. It is like what is that? Children, they play business. They play business monopoly. They're there at some dollars. That is dollar. No, it's not dollar. It is a fake paper. Likewise, a statue is a fake Krishna image, but deity means Krishna. Okay.
Yeah, Prabhu, my second question was related to that. Like, some people, they say, okay, Lord is inside me, like, Paramatma form or, So when Bhagwan is inside me and the same Bhagwan is sitting in your heart also, so they themselves thinks, okay, I'm not part of the God. I'm the God himself. And when they see the deities also, that is me only. Like Lord Shiva is in me, Krishna is in me, or Vishnu is in me, all the energies are in me. So their concept is like, it's all, there's nothing about the God only. They say it's all the energies basically. So how do we understand that? Like, when we interact those people, they claim that I'm the God only.
You should not, it's called Ahangraha Upasana. It's mentioned in Isha Upanishad, we should not talk to them. If God is in you, why you are not getting green card?
Yes.
Why are you
That's what my
struggling for
question was.
green card?
Yes.
And you cannot even, if you drink 10 liters, 5 liters, you cannot even stop going to your bathroom.
Yep.
So what type of God are you? You toothache comes, you depend on doctor, every Friday, worry when my job will go. God doesn't have that type, Krishna doesn't have that type of problems. So you cannot control your bowels. What type of God are you? So Paramatma is present in you, is watching you, but you are not Paramatma. So Budrushta Janavantas Bharta Bhokta Maheshwara, he is watching. You are controlled by karma, your past karma. All desires are not fulfilled. If your God fulfill all your desires, you cannot even fulfill 50% of your desires. To keep the family members happy is so difficult. But Krishna has created millions and trillions and quadrillions of universes. So, that is
Yes.
illusion. We should not, honestly speaking, we should not talk to them, or
Yes.
we
Yes.
should not quarrel with them.
Right.
What is that? I'm God, you're God, I'm God, everybody's God. Or if you're God, first of all, control your bowels, control your anger, control your lust, control your greed. Krishna lifted Govardhan for 7 days on a pinky finger.
So these people, Prabhupada has termed as a Mayavadi, or there is a different
They're all
term that
they're
Prabhupada
all
has given?
they're all Mayavadis, yes.
Hmm.
Mayavadi only.
Okay.
Mayavadi Krishna, brother. Lord Chaitanya was very heavy. Lord Chaitanya said we should not even talk to them. We should not look at them actually. We should not eat from their hands. We should be careful.
Right.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, then how do we explain the Paramatma feature to them? Like they are gonna say that scriptures tell you that Paramatma is residing in everyone's heart. So that's how they debate Prabhu. There are that's a scriptural injunction. So how do we? And they say because of that they are God.
No, okay.
So could you please help me understand that?
The first thing is there is in the heart, first of all, in the body there are 6,000 bacteria. You are not the only one living in this body. There are 6,000 living entities in the body. So they're all your roommates. So they're all bacteria is also God. COVID came and COVID is God. So no, living entities they are your roommates. Vipra Vasudeva, when his body was being eaten up by leper, so as a leper, the worms were eating his body. When the worm would follow it, it would pick it up and put it back. First of all, the body is given to us. One thing we can do with body is mobility. You can take body here and there, but you cannot control so many things in the body. So, and the body is given based on karma. Karmana devanetrena jantor deho pataye striya pravishyotaram pumso retikanasraya. So for that type of people, you ask them, hey, you were born in 1980, where were you in 1978? Do you know when you leave this world? Your hair is graying, stop graying the hair. So many things you cannot do. So Paramatma is watching you, Paramatma is watching me. That one super soul, mysteriously it appears to be many, but super soul is only one. So we are not God, we belong to God. Mamavanso jivaloki jivabhuta sanatana. Manasashtan indriyani prakritistani karshati. Krishna is telling all the living entities are my fragmental portions, part and parcels. So in our body there is Paramatma, there is a Jivatma. Jivatma is we, us. And Paramatma is actually monitoring us. That's why our karma gets from. So how do we get our karma? Paramatma is the one who sees our desires and he awards, the results to our good and bad karma. So that is Paramatma is in you, but you are not Paramatma.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. That
Yeah.
was such a wonderful explanation. I'm going to listen to the class again
And write it down. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Uh,
Sorry,
Prabhuji,
I
yeah,
jumped in.
Prabhuji, one more thing in this reference. Sometimes we go to the Hindu temple where there are so many devtas, and some people do the puja in which they keep circling around themselves. You know, like they will take a circle around themselves only. What is that? What is the significance of that? Why does it do that?
Basically, if you do circumambulation, that's good. It's auspicious actually. It's mentioned. Rupa Goswami also mentions in Nectar Devotion. So when you go to temples, in our temples also actually, what is it, Vrindavan? After Mangalarti is over, every people, all the deities, Madan Mohan, Govinda, Gopinath, all. So you can go around them, circumambulation. We go around Govardhan, right? We circumambulate Govardhan also. So Pradakshina, so Parikrama bolte हैं ना. So
Yes.
that's perfect,
But
So
this I'm talking about. Say, Prabhuji, you are standing and you are taking your own circle.
because there is no place where you can go around the deity, they stand on there. I
Oh,
don't.
okay, I got it. Okay,
Uh,
that's why they do that.
Yeah,
yeah,
Vadi,
that's
I also do sometimes like when, let's say if I'm doing a Tulsi Ji puja, I cannot lift Tulsi Ji from one place and she's in a, like, because of heavy and we don't want to disturb her again. So I do the circumambulation, like, like that, like, myself only, like assuming that Tulsi Marani is in the middle and I'm doing the protection in that way also.
ideally we should bring tulsi in the middle, and we should
Yes.
put water. And as you said, some people they don't want to disturb tulsi and do it, but ideally we should go around tulsi actually.
Mm.
Um, uh, actually many things are in Hinduism we concoct. We guess, and of course convenience also another thing. We concoct and we do on our own so many things, you know. But Amma, let me tell you one thing. You want to become an electrical engineer or you want to become a doctor. Okay, let us you want to become a doctor. You have to do 13 years of study. Then you'll become doctor. But this is spiritual science, like computer science. So how sincerely should we read under the guidance of a professor? 13 of 4 years pre-med, 4 years med, and 4 years residency, 1 year fellowship, total 13 years. But here, everyone thinks, oh, I know, karmanyavad karaste. That one line only everyone knows. I know Bhagavad Gita. So, problem with Indians,
Mhm.
we don't have time. Everyone has to go to America and make money. So we never ever since India got independence, you don't come across anybody reading Bhagavad Gita first page to last page. Some people know verses, but they don't know the meaning. More or less, India means confused state. You know, so Prabhupada, that's why he tried to preach to Indians, but it didn't work. He tried and failed for 40 years. Finally, Prabhupada came to America, and through Americans, Prabhupada spread Krishna consciousness all over the world. So first thing we should do, that's what I tell everyone. Hey, you read 1 hour. If you cannot read, come 1% of the week, 24 into 7 is 168 hours. You come to a temple and listen rather than cracking the coconut or saying that stotra, this stotra, Hanuman Chalisa. Just listen. Hey, what is the goal of life? Why should you study Hanuman Chalisa? Why should you study Lalita Sahasranam? Why should you study, what is that, Navagrastati? You may know verses, but you don't know the meaning. So what is your feeling? Okay, something good will happen if I do this. Insurance. But then what happens? Suddenly bad happens. Then you'll give it up. You'll become an atheistic. I've seen so many people. Why? There is no foundation. Why bad things happen to people? Everyone thinks he is good people. This session of Bhagavad Gita, so many people attend because everyone thinks I'm good. Just because you give $5 donation. Hey, heart is filled with envy, greed, lust, anger. Why you can't? Why can't you remove them? Real spirituality is get rid of them. Spirituality is not identifying with a particular organization and put a particular mark on the face. And you hate others. Hindus means they hate Muslims. Muslims hate Hindus. So what happens? Next lifetime will take birth in a Muslim country and start hating Indians. That is not spirituality. In fact, what has brought so many wars in the world? Religion. Because no proper guidance. If you If you understand properly what dharma is, religion is, you will see Krishna in everyone's heart and you'll worship them. Saint Francis would call sister dog, sister mother cat, brother dog and sister cat. Wow, he saw the divinity in everyone. We should see the divinity in everyone. Paramatma is present in everyone's heart. Namaste, na mamate. Namaste means 3 words. Na mamate, namaste. Whatever I have is yours. Why? I am your servant. Why? Hey, Krishna is in your heart as Paramatma. Other person say, really? Give all the money to me. No. No, sir. Namaste. Whatever I have is yours. I am your servant. If everyone has so much respect in the family, every family has respect for other families, seeing Krishna in their heart, the world would become a better place to live. Because nobody knows this. My God is alive, your God is dead, you convert. So much of chaos in the name of religion actually. That's why read. That's what I can tell. Hare Krishna. We'll end it today. Srila Prabhupada.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for explaining so many doubts. So we offer our prayers to all the devotees. Vancha kalpatrubhascha.
पतितनं पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमः अनंतकोटि
अनंत
वैष्णव
Jai.
Jai.
शिला प्रभुपाद की जय
Jai.
Your Prabhuji ki.
His Grace
Jai.
युगल किशोर प्रभु जी की जय
Jai.
दंडवत प्रणाम प्रभु
Thank you, Prabhuji.